Kentucky basketball will be without Jaland Lowe for the remainder of the season as he is undergoing season-ending shoulder surgery, and in the short term, this is obviously really bad for Kentucky, but in the long term, I actually think this could end up being a positive. This season has really been an unmitigated disaster for Kentucky, and we've only seen the likelihood that things turn around for them get smaller and smaller with each passing day. Jaland Lowe was going out there and playing hurt. He was dislocating his shoulder basically every time he stepped foot on the floor, putting his body and his career on the line for a sinking ship of a basketball team. And while I applaud him for doing that, this decision to get the surgery should have been made weeks ago. It should have been made a long time ago, if we're being honest. It is best for him and his career moving forward that he sits out, that he gets the surgery. He's probably going to qualify for a medical red shirt. Now, whether he uses that eligibility to come back to Kentucky or if he wants to go somewhere else because this whole experience didn't really work out for him, that remains to be seen. But bottom line, this is what's best for him. In the short term, this is definitely bad for Kentucky. Against top 50 competition, the Wildcats are about 25 points per 100 possessions better when Lowe is on the floor, and he's their only real point guard. So now who do you turn to? Denzel Aberdeen at the one, most likely, and we've seen what that's looked like. Or do you throw Jasper Johnson to the Wolves? There's really no good options here. So short term, pretty bad for Kentucky. Long term, I do think there's some good that could come out of this. For one, let's assume that Jaland Lowe returns to Kentucky next season fully healthy. Now, obviously, fully healthy Jaland Lowe is better than one-armed Jaland Lowe, which is essentially what he was for all of this season. And with every game that he continued to push it, it seemed like things were only getting worse. So the possibility of a fully healthy Jaland Lowe next season is absolutely a positive, because the more time went on and the more he was playing, the less likely it was that that would be possible. Maybe Jaland Lowe's absence spurs some quicker development for a guy like Jasper Johnson to the point that he can be a more consistent positive for the Wildcats next season. That would be a good thing. And when you zoom out and look at the season as a whole, you would think it would teach Mark Pope some important things going into next season. For one, just because you spend $22 million on your roster, you have the most expensive team in the sport, that doesn't in and of itself set you up for success. Like, the pieces still have to fit together, and the fact that he spent $22 million on this roster and there's only one guy who can bring the ball up the floor, there's only one true ball handler, that's insane. If you've watched Mark Pope's press conferences, you know how hard he's taking this season, and I don't think all of it is necessarily his fault. I don't think he could have foreseen the Jaland Lowe situation playing out the way it did. I don't think he could have foreseen Otega Owe turning back into a pumpkin for the first 2 months of the season, but he did do an objectively poor job building this team, and so that's the kind of thing you hope that he learns from. But anyway, circling back to Jaland Lowe, hope he has a speedy recovery and is 100% for next season. Thanks for watching. If you like college basketball content, hit that follow button.